Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to Train World TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Don't forget, you can shop online at trainworld.com for all your model train needs. Now, without further ado, enjoy today's video.
All right, and good evening, everybody. And we're in for a special treat tonight. We have Matt Stern from Bachmann Trains, and we are all ready to talk about that brand new 2026 catalog. So hot off the press that I don't even have a copy yet, Matt. We're going to have a big talk about that.
Oh, man. We're slacking here.
That's right. It's so fresh and new, and everybody's excited. So we're going to have to get some copies, but don't fret. Bachmann does have a virtual digital catalog on their website, and we posted it as well on our catalog section. So we're going to flip through the catalog and just go section by section, and tons of new announcements, new arrivals, new products. So lots to talk about. And Matt, why don't you introduce yourself for the people who may not know you out there?
So Matt Stern, Marketing and Licensing Manager at Bachmann Trains. Yeah, I do a little bit of everything around here. Primarily, working on marketing and all that, but I do dabble in some of the product development. I do manage our Thomas and Friends line, and among some other things as well. So that's all the important stuff. What's really important, though, is what we got in here.
That's awesome. We're excited about this brand new catalog. Let's go to the full screen on this, and wow, what a statement! The America flag in the background, and we got a American Freedom train in the front. And why don't you tell us about this cover and this promotion, and what you guys wanted to highlight for 2026?
Yeah, so it's probably no surprise that we wanted to do something for America's 250th. It's one of those things that you can't miss out on. So we decided we wanted to celebrate with something that's fairly true to life. We've seen there's various options out there for fantasy schemes and stuff like that. We wanted to do something that was real and historic. So we decided, what better way to celebrate the 250th than roll back to the 200th and introduce the Freedom Train in HO scale for the very first time since the 1970s, when the first HO scale Freedom Train was released.
Wow, very cool, and beautiful cover. And everybody is going 250 this year, and it's really been very popular across the real trains and also model train industry, and across all of America. It's becoming a big thing. So really neat to see. Beautiful cover, Matt.
Yeah. So as you were saying just before the stream started, Ken, I know we have a big catalog here. So we'll try and we'll go through it, and we'll hit the pages that have the new stuff. Everything else we'll fly through. But if you see something you want to talk about, by all means, we'll stop and we'll talk about it.
You got it. Sounds like a plan.
All right. So so here's a little bit more about the Freedom Train. So this is aside from the locomotive and the observation car, which are models that, of course, people have seen in our line before in different paint schemes. The train and the add-on cars that you'll see below are all new tooling. They are based off of the platform of our smooth side passenger cars, which is a very popular line that we have. But the shells themselves, the bodies themselves, are all new tooling to replicate the cars as they were in the Freedom Train. And I actually have a couple of samples here. So this is the showcase car, one of the two showcase cars that comes in the set. And you'll see in here. I don't know, Ken, if you can make this full screen to just.
Yeah, give me one.
This is our first production sample of this, or pre-production sample of this, I should say.
Very neat. Wow.
Yeah. So you've got the clear glass sides there, all with separately molded glazing and all that, or separately not separately molded, but indented glazing and all that. Really nice detail on the car. You've of course got the what we're calling simulated interiors. So you can see there is actually depth in there. You can see right through to the other side, and the 2D illustrations of the actual exhibits are in there. And of course, we as expected, we've had people who've come to us and say, why couldn't you do actual full 3D models in there? And of course, we have the capability, we could do it, but it would raise the price of the set to a point where it just wouldn't make sense for affordability. So this is the path that we decided to take with this. I think it still looks excellent. When you look from an angle, when you look straight on, and it still gives the impression of having an interior display in there. And if you do want to, say you wanted to 3D print something to put in there yourself, the actual 3D model, you can access the interior and do that yourself.
That's awesome.
They are fully lit interiors. We tried to make the lighting profile match the prototype, how they actually looked. And my favorite feature of these cars is, and you won't be able to see it here because it'll just blur when I put it up close. But these all these information panels on the sides here are actually the real information panels from the train. So they have they're readable if you can get a magnifying glass and look that closely, and they do actually give you the information exactly as it was on the real train for each display piece.
Wow. Beautiful stuff.
That's one of the two showcase cars that comes in the set. Now, the set, of course, has the showcase cars, and it has the observation car, which was the press car. In reality, the press could ride along and cover the journey that the train made across all 48 contiguous states. But of course, the train was much longer than that, and to give you a longer consist, if you want to replicate more of the train, we are offering 4 add-on cars, and that's these. And these are the exhibit cars. So these are the cars that, when you were visiting the train, when it was at one of its stops along the route, you'd walk through these cars, and they'd be filled with exhibits on the inside, chronicling American history. On the outside, they have these shadow boxes with more information. Each car had 20 years of American history on chronicled on each side. You'll see on this side it has flat boxes here. And on the other side here, actually has these really nice. These are the shadow boxes on this side. Again, just like the prototype, these are fully lit the way they would be on the real thing. So these are lit in the shadow box, and on this side they're lit from behind.
Very neat. A lot of people are excited about this set, and we just started taking back orders not too long ago. And already they're through the roof. Everybody's excited about this. This is going to probably be the creme de la creme of the catalog everybody's talking about. And what I believe I heard through the grapevine, I'm not sure if, Matt, you want to confirm this, but this is only 1,000 pieces are going to be made?
Correct. Yep. So it's 1,000 piece set. We are not going to make more beyond that. So if you do want to get your hands on the Freedom Train, it is absolutely a one-time deal. So as soon as you see them come live on trainworld.com, or even now, I think you said they're pre-order, right?
Yes. And the back orders are coming in real quick. This is going to sell out. This is a pure winner, and 1,000 pieces actually is not a lot of pieces. This is going to do very, very well. So very neat.
And it'll be a good set for collectors too, whether or not you actually want to model the era that the train came from. We added a collector's card into each box that will have a hand printed stamp that shows which number out of 1,000 the set is. So it's one of those sets that will have some value down the road probably too. Very neat,
very neat. Lots of nice stuff on that. Let's show this. All right.
And we have a few other models in here that have been in our line in the last couple of years, which also are bicentennial or just celebrating America in general, like the SD40 and the PCC streetcar down there. On the next page, we did announce these in our NMRA announcements in the summer last year, but I do want to just highlight them again because we have samples now for our HO scale U.S. savings bonds boxcars. So we're bringing back our 50-foot sliding door boxcar, which has been out on the line for a couple of years, and we're doing in 5 paint schemes with replicating actual schemes that the cars of this style wore in the 70s and 80s as part of a national campaign to promote American saving bonds. So it's not strictly a 250 or a bicentennial or that kind of car, but they're very classic Americana cars. They have the red, white, and blue on them. In particular, this one, which I have the sample of here, which is my personal favorite. That's the Northern Pacific.
Oh, very nice. Nice.
And you got the blue on this end, and you got the red on the other end. Red trucks. I'm always a fan of cars that have painted trucks. It just adds another element to them. And then these do have actual sliding doors. If you look inside there,
oh wow,
a slatted wood effect floor on the inside too, so you can actually model a loading scene or an unloading scene, or just have the cars rolling with the doors partially open. Really nice cars, and they'll be a great addition to if you're modeling the 70s or the 80s, or if you just want to have some patriotic looking rolling stock in your layout.
Very neat.
And we can cycle through the Christmas section here because everything here is duplicated in the main section.
Yep. And just kick this section off, Bachmann makes tons of great starter sets and Christmas items and a bunch of new Christmas items for this upcoming year. So make sure it's never too early to start for Christmas. And this 3-dome tank car, I thought this was really cool. I saw this at the show, North Pole snowballs. I thought that was really cute, creative. I haven't seen that before in model trains. Really cool. And then animated stock car, I believe that maybe 0-30. So
it is.
0-30, great for your village time layout. In G scale as well, they make a lot of great G scale items.
And of course, we have our Thomas line here, which we have a few new additions, and I think we covered some of it. We may have covered some of it in the last Thomas live stream.
Right.
We'll go through it again. So
Sydney Diesel and the Flying Scotsman. Everybody is going crazy over the Flying Scotsman.
So we have 3 new freight car additions, or freight wagon additions, at the bottom of page 32 there, all joining the line this year. So we've got a new to the Thomas line tool, which is the 20-ton brake van, which we're offering in the classic Railway Series Northwestern paint scheme. That was a very highly requested addition from the fans, so we wanted to make that happen.
Wow.
The fuel tank, which we're offering in a new paint scheme, which replicates the CGI era. And then we're also doing, again, going back to the Railway Series books, the Farquhar Quarry wagon in the paint scheme that they were first seen in the illustrations. So, some neat additions.
Someone asked a question, will Bachmann make Thomas and Friends DCC? They do.
We can and we have.
I don't know the item number offhand, but I think it was listed here before.
It'll be on the page prior to this one. There you go.
Here you go. DCC sound on board 58501. So there you go. There you have it.
And you've got Percy as well.
Yeah.
Then, nothing else brand new in the Thomas and Friends HO section, but so there are some adjacent items, Thomas adjacent items, we'll say, that'll come later on.
You got more circus stuff as well. New Ringling Brothers generator car.
Yep, that just came into stock. You guys will probably have that in stock now.
And this was pretty cool. Popcorn butter.
Yeah.
That was unique. I haven't seen that one for model trains, so that was pretty cool. Cool idea.
Gotta have somewhere to store the butter.
That's right. That's right. Lots of great starter sets. A Acela set as well. And the Acela 2, that just came in this year. A lot of people were excited about that. Lots of nice starter sets. You guys make more Christmas starter sets.
And this is a new one here. Yep.
Yeah, this was pretty cool. The Grand Canyon. I haven't really seen this much.
Yeah. So this is a one we've actually been wanting to do for a long time. It's officially licensed, so we're really happy to have partnered with the Grand Canyon Railway to make this happen. It's based on the train that actually runs today from Williams, Arizona to the south rim of the Grand Canyon. It's the former Santa Fe line, which is the only railroad that runs to the actual, the actual tip of the canyon itself. It was originally designed, believe it or not to be a tourist line, but to be I believe it was an ore mining line. It, of course, predictably became a tourist draw. The Santa Fe Railroad would run special trains there all the time. They built their own station there. And then, after the railroads got out of the passenger business, the Grand Canyon Railway was formed and picked up the mantle for carrying passengers by rail to the Grand Canyon, and been doing it successfully ever since. So this is their number 29 steam locomotive and a couple of their replicas of a couple of their cars that are in their current day roster. So this is looking how the train looks today. So it's a great keepsake if you've been on the Grand Canyon Railway, or if you want to model a modern American tourist railroad.
Beautiful paint scheme, really cool. I'm excited about that one. You have Alaska, McKinley, and Denali.
Yeah, I think these just came into stock with you guys recently as well.
Yes, new packaging, looks really neat. And I think we should all do a class trip to Alaska one year and ride these trains. I'm sure it's got to be unbelievable sightseeing.
Absolutely, yeah.
You got the American Freedom train as well. Daylight Special. This is a newer set. Really neat tracking as well.
Yep. We got a set for pretty much every geographical region of the U.S. and every era of modeler.
Very neat. Lots of
very
great
last set page here. We have our we did announce this at our NMRA announcements, but I'll note it again. The DeWitt Clinton. That's because it's a little bit different. This is something that obviously, for those of you who've followed Bachmann products for many years, you've seen this in our line before. This is an updated one that's going to be new for this year. Should be delivered later this year. It's got a new smooth running drivetrain. It's got some updated paint scheme to it, and it's just about the only ready to run set out on the market where you can model the early railroading, the 1820s and 1830s era.
Yeah. All right. These I'm excited for.
Oh yeah, everybody's excited for these. We're excited for them too.
This paint scheme is beautiful. Pickering lumber. I don't think anyone's ever done this in. I guess maybe brass. I don't know. I've never seen it really before.
Yeah, I mean, so in terms of ready to run, injection molded plastic models, we're the only one that's made the appropriate Shea type for it, and we hadn't done it until now, which is somewhat amazing in itself because, like you said, it's a cool scheme.
Very cool.
And it is real. We've had lots of people ask. It actually was the real scheme that the locomotives were painted in, and it was to help differentiate them from a narrow gauge railroad that also ran in operations in the same forest area. And it actually was repainted into that scheme in preservation. I believe it's with the Niles Canyon Railway in California. It's not currently in a restored state, but when it last operated, it was in that red scheme.
Huh. You got Hudson's, Dreyfus.
Yep.
The Dreyfuses are newer. Hudson's always have been just going out like crazy. Everybody loves the Hudson.
Yeah, those Dreyfuses should be they should be here in the spring. I think we're looking at a late May to June arrival.
Very neat.
And we do have the cars now, which we'll pass through them later on. But those are available now, so you guys should be able to find those on Train World now.
Awesome. You got the N&Ws, GS4s.
Yeah, we got
locomotives. What's the P on the catalogs?
So that's part of our new icon system that we started a couple of years ago. So the P means that locomotive is preserved today in the exact that you can find the model in. So
really cool.
That means if you model today or if you model the heyday of that model, our model is appropriate for it.
Very neat.
Plenty of steam power to choose from, and I think the next new additions are in our diesel locomotive series.
Yeah, tons of cool. The 440s have done very, very well. A lot of people love that, and this North Pole and Southern is going to do very well come Christmas time. A lot of people are excited about that, and Central Pacific.
Yeah, the Leviathan, that one just came into stock recently as well, and that's a cool one because that replicates the locomotive that operated. It almost could have a P on it, but it's now been repainted into Pennsylvania Railroad paint scheme.
Wow.
But it toured the entire U.S. or contiguous U.S. for the most part in that paint scheme that you see it in there. Went to various tourist railroads, and of course it's based on a original locomotive way back from the 1860s that wore a similar scheme.
Wow.
So again, another one that has a lot of flexibility in how you can use it.
Very neat. This is a new announcement, no?
That was new over the summer as well.
Okay. And that's the SC42-DM Charger, and cool paint schemes, and should do very well in our neck of the woods. You got Metro North.
We've been told that Long Island is getting some as well, so we'll see what happens.
Very cool. That would be very neat. We'll be excited for those. And the Train Sim World, right after the name of our own heart, and Amtrak, really cool. A lot of people like this with the gaming.
Definitely.
It's the Amtrak series, and Bachmann did such a great job on these chargers with the lighted charging room.
I've got the Lumi scheme version of the Via Rail SCV42 charger there. Those are going to be here probably around the same time as the Hudsons. So that's something to look out for this spring as well. And our C36-7s, we just got if anybody's been following us on social media, we just got a first test shot of those in the last couple of weeks. Gonna make some minor modifications just to finish up the model, but they're coming, and we're still expecting to see them this year.
That's awesome.
So we've got a couple of new paint scheme additions here from our catalog for our SD40-2 series. For our DCC equipped model, we have CSX in the YN2, the Bright Future scheme up there at the top. We've done that scheme before, but thanks to the talent and knowledge from our current product development team, the paint scheme's been totally overhauled, and it's actually updated and more accurate than ever. We're also doing Pan Am Railways. Yeah, the one.
That looks really, really nice. Everybody loves Pan Am.
And that'll complement our Pan Am Boxcars that we announced last year. In our GP40 series, we have in our Sound Value series, we have a new addition with Western Pacific. I love this paint scheme, the silver and orange. Just one of the cooler second, or I guess that would be a second generation slash transition era paint scheme, but a really cool paint scheme. And then we have a couple of additions. Yep, in our DCC Ready series, we got the Alaska Railroad. In the modern scheme, that's a return, but we haven't had it in the line for a while. We're offering a road number that we haven't done before. And then Illinois Central is a new one, and that should be an interesting one because it is an interesting one because we actually based we had a questionnaire that we ran a couple of years ago on the paint schemes that we'd never done before that people would like to see, and Illinois Central was pretty high on the list. So we're answering the requests of the public with bringing that one out.
Brilliant.
And we do have Pan Am Railways will be in our GP40 series as well. You can see on the bottom of the page there. That'll complement the SD40 nicely. Not a brand new announcement, but we got to talk about it. Got the Long Island Rail GP38 coming.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited on that. And I believe we're finally taking pre-orders on them now. So you could place your back order at trainworld.com. We should have them listed now. And a really cool paint scheme. A lot of people have been clamoring for that.
Yeah, and it's kind of a Americana locomotive too. It's got the bicentennial sticker on the side of it that they wore.
Yeah.
During 1976. And then I think that's it for new announcements in locomotives. But we'll just.
I think you guys make every single diesel style there is. It's unbelievable.
You'd be surprised. There's always more out there. More variations. More dash types.
Tell the rest of the Bachmann team we need even more selections.
That's what we aim to deliver.
The BL2s was pretty cool. That just came out like a year or two ago, and something unique, different, and they still go out. And the 44-ton switchers have been doing very well. And Stroudsburg, everybody's been Stroudsburg hot these days. It's been pretty cool.
And then the S70 streetcar or S70.
Yeah, this is something new.
Yeah, something new not only for us but for the entire U.S. Market. There's nobody else to this date has done a modern light rail vehicle. There have been some recent-ish light rail vehicles that have been done by other manufacturers, in the last several decades, but nothing that's absolutely up to date and current like these. So we're pretty excited about this. We should have more information on these pretty soon. Yeah, we don't have pricing for this yet, so I guess it won't be on Train World yet, but stay tuned.
Okay, cool. And look at all these passenger cars, and everybody's been going crazy over these Amtrak cars and newer styles. So really cool, the venture cars.
Yep, and we've got the Amtrak San Joaquin's, the Central Valley route in California. Those should be coming out hopefully by the end of the year this year. We should have a sample of those pretty soon, but I know a lot of people are excited for those. And like I mentioned,
Rail Canada.
The Lumi scheme cars will be coming along with the SCV42 in the next couple of months, or next few months. And then you got the Freedom Train cars there. And some add-on cars for your McKinley Explorer, your Denali Express train set, or if you just want to run the cars with, if you purchased one of our previous paint scheme sets and want to intermix the cars just like they are in reality, you can purchase those cars separately. And in our Amfleet series, we're bringing out the Phase 7 scheme, which is the latest paint scheme that these cars are currently wearing. So we've got 2 numbers for coach, we've got a business class version, and then we've got a cafe car. And right now they're running mixed with the Phase 6 scheme as well, which you'll see below there. So they can be run together just like on the prototype.
This is pretty cool too. The Grand Canyon add-on car, Fred Harvey.
Yep. Yes, that's their premium class car, their dome car that they run on the train. I actually have a sample of that one here. Here's the first sample we have of this model. It'll be a really nice addition to the train set. The Bud Full Dome is a great car. You can't quite tell because of the tinting, the way the tinting's coming out on screen here, but it's got a fully decorated interior, interior seating, and it's got lighting as well on the inside. So it's a really nice car.
I think we should go for kind of a research development R&D trip where we really need to test out that car and be in there in person, Matt. We'll visit the Grand Canyon. Very cool.
This is our smooth side passenger car range I mentioned earlier. So you'll see there's a couple of New York Central cars there. They'll go great with the Hudsons when they come out. They were actually designed. The paint scheme was designed for these cars at the same time to go along with the Hudsons. Interior lighting, fully furnished interiors, really nice cars. And these should be available at Train World now.
Awesome. These are going to be a hit, Matt.
Yeah, I think, and I speak from absolutely. This is not me. This is me taking off my Bachmann hat for a second and putting on my modeler hat. I think these might be the nicest looking woodside passenger cars in HO scale.
Wow. And a little birdie told me you may already be sold out on the Stroudsburg cars.
It would not surprise me at all. So definitely when those hit the shelves at Train World, make sure you grab them.
Yeah, you're gonna have to back order them because I'm pretty sure Bachmann is already sold out on the Stroudsburg cars. So make sure you get your back order in. A lot of people have been really excited about these and the detailing. We saw them at the Train Fest. I think Trevor was showing us on display, and we did some videos with Trevor and the deco. Tyler, I'm sorry.
And Trevor at one point.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Sorry in advance, Tyler. But it was just beautiful, really cool, and I think a lot of people are going to be excited once they start to come in.
Definitely, yeah. I'm one of those people. I've got room for those Southern Pacific ones on my layout.
Very neat.
And you got a couple of cars to go along. You mentioned the Christmas 440 there.
Yeah.
You've got the two cars at the bottom there to add to your 440. You've got the North Pole and Southern Partridge and the Turtle Dove.
Oh, cute.
The complementing paint scheme.
Cute thing. Even more passenger cars. Lots of great stuff.
And the excursion car there, the open-side excursion car, will go really well with the Shay. Particularly the cast number 5, because those are based on the actual cars that are used on the real cast Scenic Railroad.
Right. Now this I'm really excited for, Matt. Why don't you tell us about this Workhorse series?
Yeah. So the Workhorse series, the aim of this series is to replicate cars not as they came fresh out of the paint shop, as most cars look, but actually how they looked after a number of years in service. And we're actually using real prototype references for each car in this series. So all the weathering that you see, so they're weathered cars, but they also go a step further because they have factory printed patching and rust and stuff like that. It's all stuff that's based on actual exact car numbers. So that car in reality will be patched and weathered exactly as it looks on the model. I actually have a sample here for the Burlington Northern Bethlehem steel hopper.
For the Book and Bell, we don't have pricing yet, but hopefully soon. But look how beautiful that is. I saw that at the New York Toy Fair, and I couldn't believe that this model just came from a factory. It just looked so authentic and real. These are going to be the hottest thing that Bachmann does, and it's just going to, half of the catalog is going to be Workhorse items.
That would be great because it's a fun series to work on.
Yeah.
So we can hope.
Yeah, and whoever kind of weathers and tries to do that themselves, it takes a long time and a lot of energy, and you got to test and sample things. These just right out of the box, it just looks so rustic and authentic. Just really cool.
And something else to note about these Bethlehem steel hoppers is they're also getting new 100-ton trucks, which are replacing the 70-ton trucks that we've had on the legacy models of this car, which updates them to the trucks that are more commonly found on the real thing. And we also have, you might be able to see in here, the previous versions of this car have came out with a little bit of assembly required for the interior. So these will be fully pre-assembled with the weights installed and with the cross bracing you can see there.
Cool. Matt, they wanted an N scale.
See what we can do. We'll see if it does well in HO. And I know as an N scale modeler, so you probably hear this all the time, but if it does well in HO, it's likely to come into N scale as well.
All right. Grain hoppers.
Oh, actually, I think the next car is another one that I have a sample of. So we'll just you can stay on the camera for a second.
Okay.
So we got two new additions to our Trinity 5161 hopper range. This is our first steps into modern era freight cars. We've had second generation era freight cars in our line for a number of years. We wanted to bring our line into the modern era, so we introduced the Trinity 5161 a couple of years ago. First cars arrived last year, and now we're adding more to the line. And another thing that we started doing within the last year or two is we're offering these with 2 road numbers per car rather than 1, so you can build out your consist a little more easily and a little more realistically. So these are nice cars. You can see all the separate brake detail and piping and stuff in there. They've got separate unloading troughs down there. They've got see-through roof walks up here, and they're nice modern cars. Of course, Union Pacific with CMO. That's a car that I've seen many times out on the real railroad. Perfect addition to any modern. I'd say probably 2007 to current it would be the era for this. And then we've got the I think on the next page after this one, we've got a couple of new additions to our Air Slide series as well. I don't have a sample for these yet, but these will be nice, vibrant cars. The Rio Grande orange cars. Most of the cars in the series were actually painted in typical freight car gray, but a number of the first cars to be delivered for the Rio Grande were painted in this really vibrant orange. So that'll be a standout car for
that's a really cool paint scheme. I like that.
And we are also doing 2 new road numbers for the Burlington Northern. That Burlington Northern one did so well. It was the first one to sell out of the series, and so we're bringing it back with 2 new road numbers to expand your train.
Cool. You got more hoppers, and this one we're excited about too. A lot of focusing on the Northeast this year. Very cool.
Yeah. Well, we've got a great working relationship with the MTA, so we're doing some stuff in collaboration, and one of those, of course, here is not where you necessarily expect to find the MTA, but they do roster a series of ballast hoppers in reality because they got to do track maintenance. So we're adding that to our line with a removable ballast load. And just like the Workhorse series Bethlehem steel hopper, that'll come with 100-ton trucks and the upgrades as well. We got more hoppers, more cars. And you got the
this is the Pan Am.
Yep. So that's our 50-foot 6-inch outside brace box car. Like our smooth side or 50-foot sliding door box cars here, these also have sliding doors. They also have the wood slat floor interior, which looks really nice. And the added bonus to these, of course, is they have a working flashing end of train device on the end.
Very neat.
Got our track cleaning cars there, which is always handy. And people ask us, do these really work? Because they just seem so simple. They're not a complicated. They don't have they don't have any liquid associated with them. They don't have any any motor pushing a brush or anything like that. They work great, and I can tell you from personal experience, when we take our train layouts to shows like Amherst and the World's Greatest Hobby, And we actually we use these cars on the trains, and we don't have to use anything else to clean the track. They just keep the trains running, and these are
Smart.
for 8 hours a day for 2 to 3 days in a row.
Wow, very neat.
That's there's our 40-foot standard boxcar series. No new additions here, but plenty of paint schemes to choose from. We got a few that are arriving soon. Challenger Merchandise Service, the Union Pacific one in the middle there. That's a cool scheme.
Yeah, that is very nice.
Yeah. And more boxcars. And we got our steel reefers, and we got our express reefers. Again, no brand new additions, but plenty of options to choose from. And the same with the woodside reefers and the poultry transport cars, which are always a hit around Thanksgiving for whatever reason. Our stock cars. And then we have another Metro North edition in our tank car series here.
Yeah, this is cool. Very neat. So fire protection car.
Yeah, so if there's a brush fire on the side of the railroad, they'll send this car out and attach a hose, and they can put out the fire.
Very cool. And you also got some track cleaning cars for tanks. Really
we do,
cool.
yeah. Same system as the boxcars. They work great.
More tank cars, hooker ones, Miss Claus cider, really neat. And steel coil cars. This maybe a year or two, but have done very well.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping gondolas.
We have one new addition to our 40-foot gondolas, which is the Christmas North Pole and Southern there, rapid gift delivery.
Cute. And this is a cool paint scheme for L&N.
Yeah, so that's it says traction motor car in there. So that was actually a unique paint scheme for gondolas that were specifically in service to carry traction motors. And the orange, I believe, denoted where they should load them to make sure that the weight was balanced.
Very cool.
And then a couple of new additions that should be coming out soon. You've got the you've seen our center beam hoppers for a number of years in our line. We're now offering them with the load included, so that there's a wrapped lumber load on the 4 cars at the bottom there. So you got Bennett Lumber Products, which is was a short line operator or at least a lumber business in the Pacific Northwest. You got Canadian National, Northern Pacific, and my personal favorite. Again, it's got painted trucks. It's got maroon trucks. The Union Pacific down there.
Very nice.
Our auto carrier, we're making progress on that. That's got pricing now, so that should be available for pre-order at Train World. Those are going to come with actual separate autos loaded onto them, the sedans, just as you see them there. So you get a lot of bang for your buck with those cars. And it's one of only a few different examples that have been made of those early auto racks of that era, and we're hoping to have a sample of those within the next few months to show off. So stay tuned.
Very nice. Got flat cars. Tons of flats.
Tons of flats. And then we got of course our crane cars, always a hit. Test weight cars. We've got a British brake van, track cleaning car, same mechanism again, and that's perfect for Thomas and Friends because it has the right coupling for that, and obviously the right geographic type of rail car for them as well. Now here in our caboose series, we've got another Metro North edition. So if you're modeling the New York area, this is a good year to be modeling it.
That's all right.
So that's the Metro North Railroad caboose, which they do roster several of these cabooses that they have on the end of their maintenance trains. So with the other maintenance cars that we're offering, it only makes sense to have the caboose to round off your train as well.
Awesome, great stuff.
And it should be noted
Cabooses.
those bay window cabooses are all road specific as well. They have some of them have roof walks where appropriate, some of them don't. Some of them have wickers on the side of the windows, some of them don't. Window configurations and shapes are even different depending on the prototype.
Oh, nice.
Again, more cabooses, Northeast steel cabooses, wide vision cabooses, our offset cupolas, and then we got a few new additions for our old time bobber caboose. East Broadtop. That's we did do a common carrier era East Broadtop in brown, which you'll see above that one with the EBT lettering. But we're doing the tourist era version now with the Acorn logo. I actually have a sample of that I can just show in the box quickly here. This smart looking scheme. Who doesn't love a nice little red caboose?
Well, and we're excited about this one, Stroudsburg Railroad. Wow, very cool.
Yep. So you'll have the cars, you got the 44 tonner, and then you've got the bobber caboose for the end of the train.
Very neat.
And Rio Grande Southern is also a new addition that we announced this year as well.
What a track! You guys are coming out with a concrete track now. Easy Track is the most popular track. Just all the starter sets come with it, gets you into the hobby, and just easy to put together.
Yep. And I mentioned earlier that there were some Thomas adjacent announcements. This is one of them here, which is our Talaflin is being expanded to another paint scheme era, which is the current one it wears. They call it the Great Eastern Railway Blue. And the funny thing about that was when we were doing our research and developing these Talaflin locomotives a couple of years ago, there were only those three paint schemes, the green, the black, and the red. And then as soon as we were finished and it was all sent to the factory and ready to go, they announced they were repainting it into blue. But not bad for us because it gives us another option.
Very neat.
And then likewise, we're also offering going to be offering our gunpowder wagon in the prototypical Festiniog railway paint schemes that the real prototype car is operated in. The Curtis's and Harvey scheme. On the left there is the scheme that the car currently wears. And today it's typically used in photo freights and stuff like that. But in the past, they did use it for maintenance service on the railway. So where it says Festiniog cement on the right hand side, that kind of replicates that era.
Very neat. Got Bachmann N scale now. A lot of people are into that. Some new engines, Thomas LBSC, and also Origin James. So lots of great new stuff for the N scalers. Henry, Diesel, Paxton.
Gordon's Express coaches there. I will just, since I have the samples sitting here, I'll just show those quickly because those are the HO ones there.
Yeah.
So here's the actual samples of the N scale ones.
Everybody has been going crazy for that. You don't even have to be a Thomas fan for those coaches.
Oh no, absolutely not. And their basis is actually a real London, Brighton, and South Coast Railway, I believe, prototype. So if you wanted to buy these for the prototype basis, they would work well for that as well.
More Bachmann N-scale Thomas products. And then you also got the N-scale starter sets. Mm-hmm. Great for gift giving or getting someone into the hobby. That's a cool set with that Tropicana.
Oh yeah, that car's
very cool.
Yep. Just like HO, plenty to choose from, whether you're a steam modeler or if you're into the West Coast trains or East Coast trains. We've pretty much got something for everybody.
Yep. K4s, EM1s. EM1s is just such an awesome engine.
Yeah, I didn't mention this when we were in the HO section, but we of course do have those coming out again in HO. Those are expected to arrive later this year.
Very neat. Hudsons, N&Ws. That's a great choices.
Definitely. We do have I should have brought the sample in with me. Unfortunately, I don't have it. We are also packing up and getting ready for the World's Greatest Hobby Show in Dallas, which is going to be at the end of the month. So a lot of the samples I had to borrow from for tonight. But we are going to be coming out with the 19th Century 460. If you go to our Facebook page, you'll see we do have photos of our unpainted pre-production samples. But these are going to be a huge hit. I know, Ken, you've mentioned a lot of people have been showing interest in these.
Yes, it's something unique, different, and nobody really makes the old time railroad feel. So these are going to be really exciting. You got the 19th Century 460s.
And some really nice paint schemes on them too.
Yes.
For our Prairie 262, we've got a couple of new paint scheme additions on the opposite page there. Got Sioux Line with a Russian iron boiler jacket, which is always sharp looking. And then we've got Wabash down at the bottom there as well. And these have had some mechanical modifications recently to give them a more compact, hidden, and actually better running motor. And they're really cool. They're great little locomotives. We got our GG1 electrics, of course, our ALC 42s and SCV 42 chargers. The SCV 42s just came out within the last few months. Ken, I don't know if you have any of those left, but if you do,
yeah, they've been going. It's really amazing. End scalers, years ago it used to be a few projects, but now everybody's making everything in end scale. Just exciting time to be an end scaler for sure.
Definitely. Our SD40-2s that came out a couple of years ago with totally new tooling. We've got some new paint schemes coming out here for our GP40s. CPKC. that was a one that we wanted to add, but we weren't sure if we'd be able to because there aren't that many 4-axle locomotives that have been painted into the new scheme.
Wow.
And we were down to the wire on that, and we were able to come up with one that I think we found a photo. It had been painted like 2 weeks beforehand or something like that.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's it for doing it.
That's a beautiful paint scheme.
Yeah. We've got Western Maryland coming out there as well. And then in our standard DC version, we're doing MKT, Missouri, Kansas, Texas, and then Santa Fe. Kind of like the CSX YN2 and the HOSD 40s, the Santa Fe, we've done the paint scheme before, but it's totally revamped with improved realism and extra paint details.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, our runners will be coming out later this year. We stay tuned because very soon we will have some updates on those.
Cool. Great stuff. Did very well in HO. And also, look at these passenger cars. Really cool. They did very well in HO. Now you guys are doing N scale too.
Yep, and those came out towards the end of last year. So again, check Train World and see if they have them in stock because I know they've been going fast. And then just like in HO, we're doing the Phase 7 amphitheats and N scale. So we're doing a little bit different. We're doing, instead of a business class car, we're doing a cafe business car. They do have combination cars in reality, in addition to the 2-coach cars in the cafe.
This is cool. The old time passengers.
Yeah, so we've had these cars in our line before. We still have them in a couple of our train sets, but they haven't been in separate sale for a long time. We've done some upgrades to them, given them body-mounted couplers, and the baggage car is actually all new tooling because we only ever offered the combine in the past.
And those probably should go with the 19th century locos.
Exactly, yeah.
You got grain hoppers, lots of road names to choose from, center flow hoppers.
The Bethlehem steel hoppers with the removable loads.
Very neat.
We do have a new paint scheme edition for our USRI 55-ton 2-bay hopper. And that's the Virginian seam at the bottom there. Those Virginian cars could be seen in long strings hauling coal out of the the mountains of Virginia and West Virginia. And then that's our N-scale track cleaning car, the 50-foot plug door boxcar. Has the same mechanism as HO, just scaled down. Again, works great. Easy to use. The pads are replaceable, but we have yet to replace any of the ones that we've used on our show layouts, and they get used very heavily. So that they're definitely. I don't have a specific number to give, but they're long. They're long lasting.
Right.
Got our 50-foot 6-inch outside brace boxcars. Got our AAR 40-foot steel boxcar, which was retooled a few years ago, about a decade ago. It's got separate ladders, opening doors, nice interior.
Cool paint schemes. Florida, East Coast, Pan Am.
Yep.
Nice stuff.
Those should be arriving at some point this year.
That's so cool. The Christmas, the reindeer heads pop out.
Yep.
Really neat.
In N-scale, those heads are probably about this big, but we still modeled them.
So cool.
Got the water tank cars, the chemical tank cars.
Really.
Those are all new tooling from about a year ago. We have a new paint scheme edition for our ACF 36-foot tank car, which is the Warren Petroleum scheme at the bottom there.
We must have a really big warehouse to carry every single item in this catalog.
I know.
Wow, lots of great stuff. Cool paint schemes. Warren Petroleum.
Then here's the Christmas.
Yeah.
With the snowballs that you mentioned before.
It's my favorite.
And we're also doing the
shout out to Tyler. I'll get his name right this time.
And we got the Louisville and Nashville traction motor car coming in N-scale as well. And we have 2 new additions to our N-scale steel coil car. Just like the HO ones, like these have removable hoods. They actually come with coil loads that you can sit in there, or you can have them running without them if you choose to. We have 2 different hood styles. We have the older angled hoods and the more modern rounded hoods. The Union Pacific one will have the more modern rounded hoods, and the Baltimore and Ohio predictably will have the older round angled hoods. And the crane and boom tender, another car that we should have some more information for in the not too distant future. Those are projected for arrival at some point later this year.
Cool. Nice paint schemes.
And those have been again offered in the past, but we've done some tooling modifications to increase to decrease the ride height and give them a little bit more of a realistic appearance, as well as obviously paint schemes that we haven't offered in the past. These are probably 2 of my favorite N-scale announcements, which are the chassis system and the Union Pacific Northeast Steel caboose. And believe it or not, the prototype for that Union Pacific caboose still runs with Union Pacific today. They still use it in maintenance service in the Chicago area.
And also the Bachmann Easy Track concrete and regular. Just an easy system to use, no pun intended, or pun intended. And On30 we do very well with. A lot of people like On30, and you got some new starter sets coming out. East Broad Top.
The Rockville Limited actually just arrived in our warehouse this week, so you should be getting those soon.
Very cool. And the trolley is always great. A lot of people model that. What was it? Department 56 stuff during Christmas time and
Lemax building stuff like that.
Yeah. Now you got also some great ballast loads.
Yep.
Some
we got the ballast
hoppers.
Yeah, the coal version and the ballast version there. And the 3 bays and the 2 bays. All based on East Broad Top prototypes, but also have been seen on other narrow gauge railroads as well.
These are cool for On30. You guys, this Christmas reindeer will do very well. And you got the other roads as well.
Yeah, just a fun car.
And you're going track cleaning for On30 guys too.
Yeah, yeah, it's something that every railroad needs.
And this, we actually just got this in stock today.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been clamoring for it for a while. I can't remember the last time it was in G scale. So a lot of people are excited about this, gets people into the hobby. So great starter set for G. And they also make a ton of Thomas G scale items. And here's a LBSC Thomas as well. So lots of good options to choose from. Doing the box bands as well.
Yep, those fun fair wagons are new for this year. And this is a goof in the catalog. We don't have the right paint scheme on the Tidmouth milk tanker, but it's actually the classic Tidmouth milk lettering on the side of that.
Some more starter sets here. And this one just recently came out, like a year or two. Does very well. Pennsylvania cow catcher. No cows were harmed in the making.
I'll have to put that as a disclaimer next
year. Yeah. Tons of great steam locomotives. And this Grizzly Flat, I believe you guys have just sold out. So make sure you grab what you can. All of these do so well. Just really cool. Some great looking models. And these Dash 9s are super impressive. You have to see one in person. Just really gigantic models.
I would not be able to fit it in my hands on the screen.
Yeah, it's just awesome stuff. So Bachmann doing a great job with G scale. And the first time that they came out, they did so well. They're announcing some more paint schemes and offerings. So really cool. And you got the GP40s, trolleys, and some egg liners, which are always pretty fun.
Independence Day one's perfect for this year. It's got some
coming up
historic presidents.
That's right. For the Garden Railway series, the Bumblebee and Ladybugs, those always actually did very well. So be surprised. A lot of people like those. My daughter is big into ladybugs. I should get her one of those. She just screams out ladybugs all the time.
There you go, perfect.
And,
these 2-bay offset hoppers are they're our latest addition. So they're replicating a standard gauge hopper design from the early 20th century. They come with a really nice coal load on them, and you get 2 road numbers per paint scheme. We'll be seeing those probably later this year.
Cool stuff. More boxcars and hoppers. Some really nice rolling stock, and at great pricing too. They're affordable.
We got 2 new
making some nice skill stuff.
The animated stock cars here. We got Pennsylvania with cattle, and then we've got Southern Pacific with horses. Those single dome tank cars came out last year. I think they've been fairly popular, right, Ken?
Yeah, especially this Christmas punch. During Christmas time, we had to keep on reordering. Everybody was going crazy over it, for sure. And some accessories now too. Some kits. I don't think you've done kits for a while, so we're excited about that. Good price point for the people who want to put kits together. And accessories, scenescapes, lots of great stuff.
Yeah, we actually have a whole new series you'll see in a page or two here. They're adding to our Scenescapes line.
Well, before we talk about that, I always talk about your trees. They are the nicest trees. I love them. During Christmas time, retail wise, we just bring cases and cases, and people always gravitate to the Bachmann. Just a great price point and great realistic looking trees.
Yeah, so on the on page 313 there, you've got these are all new additions on this page. So we're doing tunnel portals in HO scale, just based on a standard early 20th century cast concrete design. These are going to be factory painted and weathered, and the supports on the side are actually going to be separate pieces, so it'll be modular. You can have them with or without the supports. You can have one support depending on how the flow of your landscape goes.
Okay.
Got a retaining wall that goes along with those as well. And samples of these here. If you're wondering why I had rocks on my desk here. So we're going to have these are going to be coming out as well.
Oh wow!
Rocks, again weathered and painted.
Beautiful.
Every
it looks like a real rock.
Yeah. No, they did the factory did a great job modeling these. They're actually much lighter. They're much lighter than they look.
Wow. I thought they send you out early in the morning to collect the rocks.
I mean, you do what you have to do.
Very cool. No, it looks pretty authentic. Very nice.
And then for getting started with your layout, we've got the scenery items that we've had, and obviously for a number of years in our line that we continue to expand, but going even earlier, even beyond that in terms of building your layout, we're introducing a line of plastic cloth, so you can build the mountains at hill size that you can then mold and attach your rocks and other fixtures to. We're also doing offering a water system as well with the realistic resin water and that's a couple of other complementary pieces.
And building kits, tons of kits.
Yep. Plastic line is always a favorite since 1947. Still using the same designs and same molds from back then, so they are true classics.
Wow.
We got those, of course, in O scale and HO scale, and we have some pre-made plastic buildings in N scale.
This cooling station is very nice.
Yeah. A lot of these kits, while they're simple to put together, they also lend themselves really nicely to if you like model detailing your own models, they can be great basis for that as well.
Tons of figures as well. And, a lot of this stuff does very well. The ballast spreaders.
Yeah.
People are interested in.
The HO ballast spreader there with shutoff, we actually just used that ourselves on our layout that we're building here at Bachmann HQ, and it really does a fantastic job.
Wow. Very neat. Great stuff. Easy command controller.
Control systems, and then our
maintenance.
Exactly.
That's interesting. Just the track and a power pack. That would be good for the winter time.
Yeah, the great thing about
that
if you want to start out with a train set, or you want to give somebody a train set, but you don't see the train that they want as one of our existing train sets, you can buy the track and controller and have that set up, and then you can customize it with the train of your choice.
That's awesome.
Separate sale items.
Very good. And Williams, there's some street cars.
Yep.
They do very well.
Everybody loves the easy street range. So, and for good reason. It's the animation doesn't have to stop at the tracks; it can continue onto the roads as well.
And I think the biggest misconception, they also work on 3-rail tubular tracks, or regular 3-rail tracks. So it's not even just easy street; it's on train tracks as well. So it's pretty cool. Maybe we should do
a high railer version of one of those.
Very cool. And you got the hearse, the ambulance, some really cool, unique cars. I'm waiting for the Ghostbusters one.
The ambulance may be as close as you get with that one.
Very cool. And you also got some egg liners here.
Mm-hmm.
Really neat.
So operating cars.
Rolling stock. More cars.
That's I think we're pretty much there.
Wow, we made it.
We made it in just an hour and 10 minutes.
We did a little bit of a crash course, but we were there, and some beautiful stuff. And I'm happy for a lot of Northeast products this time around. So
of course we got we're a Northeast company. We got to cater to our own.
Very cool. Well, Matt, this has been excellent. And what's your top pick of the catalog? What do you think?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think it's probably going to be the weathered cars.
Okay.
Yeah, the Workhorse series, but close second would be the Grand Canyon set.
Yeah, that's some good picks there. The Workhorse stuff is really, really nice. So I think that will do very well. And Grand Canyon is definitely unique, different. And I think this America 250 set is going to be for sure a home run as well.
Yeah, I'll bring the box out so you can see a little bit more before we sign off here.
Yeah, and again, only 1,000 pieces are going to be made of this. And I think we could probably account for, just right off the bat, our initial order was close to maybe 1/10 of those. So after this show and this week, just pushing, promoting, we're going to be close to coming up free, selling out quickly. So make sure you get your order in. That's going to do very, very well for sure. And we'll switch gears, and make sure you head to trainworld.com. We carry tons of Bachmann items, over 1,500 items, tons to choose from. And that's just Bachmann. That's not including Williams and some scenery stuff, O-scale. Just really cool and lots of good stuff. And also those old-time passenger cars will do very well. So make sure you get your orders in on those. Just Bachmann has a ton of great product selections. So make sure you head to trainworld.com. And if you're looking for the catalog, you could head to Bachmann's website. They have the Bachmann catalogs as a virtual display. And we also have catalogs in model train catalog section. We do have the new, we got to post the new catalog as well. So we'll get that updated and
get your copy first, though, Ken.
Yes, we'll get that working and going first as well. But tons of great stuff, Matt, and I appreciate you and coming on. I know you got a lot of sleepless nights the past couple of weeks, but we truly appreciate you coming on tonight and being part of the show.
Yeah, no, it's always a pleasure. I'm excited about the stuff we've got coming out, so happy to talk about it.
You got lots of products, and the amount of pages that we went through, over 300 pages of products. So lots of great stuff. And I want to thank Bachmann for all you do for the industry. Bachmann truly cares about the industry and is a great company that really pushes trains and the hobby and gets people into the hobby as well. So we truly appreciate all the hard work you do. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Bachmann. And we will see you soon. And make sure you get all your Bachmann trains and order them and look for those new announcements and get your back order in today. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
All right. See you.